Doctors and nurses have read it. What's the worst thing you've seen on the job? My sister, gynecologist, told me this one. Girl comes to hospital, complains that she's unusually smelly down there. Sister takes a look, sure enough there is something not right there. Upon further inspection my sister notices there is an object deep inside her. Sister, there seems to be something stuck inside your vagina, do you know what it could be? I'm going to take it out. Patient. No, please don't touch that. It's the cap to my deodorant. I'm keeping it there as a contraceptive. Sister. Woot. Guy came in with severe abdominal pain. Turned out he had painful hemorrhoids which had led to him being too scared to take a dump for 1 month. He couldn't tolerate any of the normal treatment, laxatives and enemas, so he ended up being taken to theater where I, the most junior member of the on-call surgical team, had to claw out this monstrosity of a turd with my fingers. It was this dense mass about 4 to 5 inches wide that felt like hardened clay and smelled exactly how you might expect a ball of shit that's been brewing for a month to smell like. Took a good half hour before I managed to clean him out, all while the nurses tried to stand as far away as possible and my seniors pissed themselves laughing at my horrified expressions. Today I learned that you can go without taking a shit for a month. Of course it'll be painful as hell but it's doable. Registered nurse here, and I gotta say, as horrifying as these stories are, I am laughing as much as retching. Guess I've been a nurse too long. Anywho, here's my fun tale. Had a very obese man, over 400 pounds, with a swollen scrotum. No kidding, his ballsack was the size of a basketball, just dangling there between his legs. The gross part was when he went to sit down, yes, he could walk a few steps with lots of help. He would grasp the handlebars of his walker and start swinging his hips back and forth, to get his ballsack swinging. Then, at just the right moment when his basketball-sized junk was out in front, he'd sit down quickly so as not to crush anything. I pride myself deeply in being able to keep a straight face through that ritual. I never once saw a male nursing assistant who didn't choke with laughter watching him do it. Maybe not the grossest story here, but it might at least not give anyone nightmares. Mom in the ER. Guy came in with a pencil and a straightened clothes hanger up his urethra, both stuck good. Apparently, the pencil was for fun, and the hanger was to attempt to dig the pencil out. I don't understand that method of pencil removal. I don't understand that method of pencil insertion. Saw a lady who had flown in from another country to have US doctors help with her breast cancer. She had a metastatic tumor on her arm that was the size of a bagel and smelled of necrotic tissue. Her chest wall was replaced by tumor and you could see her rib cage. Her family got mad that we couldn't just cut the tumor off her arm. The whole ER smelled like rotten flesh. Happy holidays everybody. When I was doing my obstetric and gynecology rotation, we had a woman come into clinic that had a condom in her vagina. Apparently it came off during sex with her boyfriend, but they didn't take it out, and she waited like 2 weeks to come in to get a doctor to remove it. She stunk the entire office up so badly. Jesus no. Most disturbing thing I can remember in recent history was someone with cysticercosis, tapeworm infection, of the brain. I got a script for a dewormer with a ridiculously high dose. I called the doctor thinking it was a mistake and he told me what was up. We both agreed there was very little chance of it working, but he said there were absolutely no other alternatives. Now I have a headache, and I cannot convince myself it's not the brain worms. Well, I was fine until I read your damn comment. Asshole. Not mine, but my sister. She was working at an old folks center near our house, and she was with this one older gentleman. On his hip, was a blackhead the size of a dime, on top of a decent-sized lump, about 2 inches long, an inch wide and half an inch tall. So she threw on some gloves, and squeezed the blackhead, with the permission of the man of course. Out popped this roll of gauze that was left over from his hip surgery 10 years prior that he never bothered to get removed. Apparently the smell was horrid, and she will never forget it. My mother was once lifting up the folds of fat on an obese person to check for abnormalities, and found a biscuit. Not a doctor or a nurse, combat medic in the army. This is a story a PA told me. A girl came into the clinic complaining of vaginal pain, and when he went to examine her he found she was having thick, gray, oozing vaginal discharge. He tried to prescribe her medication for it, but she refused to take it. Why? Because her boyfriend liked the taste. Wife is a nurse. Back when she was working at another hospital, she had been taking care of a meth addict. This person looks like your typical user off Breaking Bad. Anyways, she tells me that this one time someone came to visit her, and while the visitor was in there, one of the other nurses saw the visitor putting something in light fixture. The other nurse thought it was strange and went to go see what it was, thinking it was probably more drugs or something. Anyways, what she pulls out has got to be the most disgusting thing I can think of. She takes it out and shows it to my wife. My wife immediately knows what it is and tells her she needs to get rid of it and wash her hands right now. What was it? Well, the person visiting was also a meth addict and had pulled off some of their scabs, which for those unfamiliar can contain meth, and placed them in light fixture for the patient to eat later so they could get high. Why am I reading these? A homeless paraplegic woman was brought into the ER for pneumonia. We had to strip off all of her dirty clothes and put her in a hospital gown. As I took her pants off, I noticed a cockroach, which I thought was weird. As we took her panties off, out came the swarm. Roaches had nested in her vagina and she couldn't feel it because of the paralysis. We have a winner.